Learning English through improvised real conversations is one of the most natural and effective ways to achieve fluency. Unlike traditional classroom dialogues that follow fixed scripts, real conversations are unpredictable, dynamic, and full of authentic language. They capture the rhythm, tone, and spontaneity of how people actually speak. When learners engage in improvised dialogue, they are not just memorizing words. They are thinking, reacting, and expressing ideas in real time. This process trains the brain to use English instinctively rather than mechanically. Improvised conversation practice forces learners to listen carefully and respond meaningfully. Instead of focusing only on perfect grammar, they must prioritize understanding and being understood. This mirrors how communication works in real life, where fluency and clarity matter more than perfection. Learners begin to notice natural speech patterns, filler words, and informal expressions that are rarely taught in textbooks. For example, phrases like, "You know what I mean," kind of, or "That's interesting" are common in everyday conversation, but often overlooked in formal study. Through improvisation, students internalize these elements naturally. Another benefit of improvised conversations is emotional engagement. When learners talk about real topics, personal stories, opinions, or spontaneous reactions, they use language with purpose. This emotional connection strengthens memory retention. People remember words and expressions better when they associate them with feelings or experiences rather than abstract exercises. For example, a learner who improvises a dialogue about a favorite travel experience is likely to remember the vocabulary of that discussion far longer than if they simply read it from a textbook. To learn effectively through improvised English conversations, learners should focus on both spontaneity and structure. Although improvisation is unscripted, it benefits from guided themes and objectives. For instance, before a session, participants can agree on a topic like making weekend plans, discussing environmental issues, or solving a workplace problem. Having a theme ensures that the conversation remains purposeful, while the unscripted nature ensures authenticity. A useful method is conversation chaining. One speaker begins with a sentence or question, and the other must respond immediately without pausing to translate or overthink. The conversation continues to build naturally from one statement to another. This exercise forces participants to rely on their instinctive use of English. Over time, this technique reduces translation time in the brain, leading to faster responses and smoother speech. Recording improvised conversations can also be transformative. When learners listen back to their recordings, they become more aware of pronunciation, pacing, and common mistakes. Unlike live corrections from a teacher, self-analysis allows them to reflect without pressure. They can note patterns such as overusing certain words or relying too heavily on their native language structures. With consistent practice, these small insights lead to big improvements. Improvised group discussions are another powerful tool. In small groups, Participants can choose a controversial or creative topic and take turns expressing opinions. The unpredictability of other speakers' responses encourages active listening and flexible thinking. This helps learners develop conversational skills like agreeing, disagreeing, interrupting politely, and asking for clarification, all essential for natural English communication. The ultimate goal of learning English through improvised real conversations is not just to speak, but to connect. Language is a living bridge between minds, and improvisation keeps that bridge alive through active engagement. Once learners are comfortable improvising in controlled settings, they should transfer those skills to real life. This can happen through conversation clubs, online voice chats, or meeting English speakers in social contexts. The key is consistent exposure to unpredictable dialogue. Each conversation, no matter how brief, reinforces fluency and adaptability. Learners can also integrate improvisation into their daily routines. Speaking aloud while describing what they are doing, narrating thoughts, or reflecting on the day helps maintain fluency even when no partner is available. Thinking in English is a form of internal improvisation. It keeps the brain accustomed to forming sentences quickly without translating from another language. This habit gradually rewires the mind for direct expression in English. Improvisation also nurtures empathy and cross-cultural understanding. Real conversations reveal the values, humor, and emotions behind words. When learners engage authentically, they learn not just vocabulary but culture. How English speakers express politeness, disagreement, or enthusiasm. These cultural cues are often invisible in textbooks but crucial in real communication. To sustain long-term improvement, learners should treat every improvised interaction as a learning opportunity. Mistakes are not failures, they are indicators of growth. The best speakers are not those who never make errors, but those who use every conversation to refine their skills. Setting realistic goals, such as, I will join one English discussion per week, helps maintain motivation.